Okay, so yeah, when you have confidence in your equipment, it really puts peace of mind that you can go out there and charge the biggest waves. So starting off, when you are surfing the outer reefs, when you're surfing bigger waves, you need to have the right board. And I like to use a board that's at least 9 foot plus when you're surfing outer reefs. The reason for it is that the ocean swells are moving so much quicker through the water, and you need the 9-foot board for the paddle power to be able to even catch the waves. It's also very important to have a very good, strong big wave leash. So I like to use a 12 to 15 foot big wave leash. And the reason being, when you're having a wipeout, your board is far away from you. You don't want your board to be close by. So my leash also has a pull cord over there. So if my leash has to get snagged on a rock, or if I have to quickly release, maybe I get picked up by the jet ski and my board's dragging, I can pull this little cord here, and that releases my board and the leash from me. So very important to have a good leash. Sometimes when you're getting absolutely drilled by a wave and you can't come up, your board is the only thing that's floating and bringing you to the surface, and occasionally you have to climb the leash. But that is worst case scenario. But bottom line is you want to have a good leash. And then moving on to the fins. In big wave surfing, you want to have small, rigid fins. So by rigid, I mean either glass or carbon fiber fins. And the reason for that is they are very rigid. So when you're going super fast on a big wave, they are rigid enough to hold in the water and give you speed and drive. If you use plastic fins going really fast, those things are too flexible and they're going to be fluttering under high speed. Whether you're surfing 10-foot waves or 15-foot waves, I always recommend having a bit of flotation. So when I surf waves that are bigger than 10 to 12 foot, I like to wear an impact vest. So this is basically just a vest that you wear underneath your suit, and it's got built-in flotation pads. You can see they're all on the back. So I don't have any pads on my chest, so I'm flush against my board, which feels great for paddling. But this vest will actually bring you up 30% quicker when you're under the water. Also, if you experience a high impact when you hit the water really hard, these will help to absorb the impact and hopefully you won't get winded. If you're serious about it and you want to commit to surfing big waves often, then you need to get some sort of pull vest. I don't like to pull this vest too often, but it's an incredible life-saving device. So I wear this particular vest. It's kind of like a shorty. I wear this over my wetsuit and I zip it up. And basically in the back here are these cartridges. So these are CO2 cartridges. It's compressed carbon dioxide. They slot into the back here. And when you're getting seriously drilled by a big wave and you're deep under the water and you feel like you're not coming up, this is kind of like your lifeline. You can pull this cord and it punctures the cartridge and it inflates this bladder with air. And it brings you to the surface pretty quickly. And yeah, I definitely can say that I've had some situations where I feel like this exact vest has saved my life. You never want to underestimate the power of the ocean. And some people, when they've been surfing bigger waves for a while, they might get cocky and not use flotation, but I'd always recommend it when you're surfing bigger waves. We had quite a heavy incident a few weeks back out here at Sunset Reef, and my friend had a flotation device on which saved his life. We were sitting out the back and he got caught inside a 12 to 15 foot set. He had taken sets like that on the head many times before, and he came up looking pretty slow. There was only 3 of us in the water. My one friend had just taken a wave, so it was just us two out the back. And he came up looking really slow, and I signaled to him, "Are you doing all right?" And he looked like he wasn't reacting properly. And he luckily had pulled his vest, so he was afloat. And then another 3 or 4 big waves hit him and took him all the way to the inside. And by the time we got to him, he was floating. He had burst his eardrums. He couldn't move his body. He was totally paralyzed. And we were just thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, he's broken his neck and he's paralyzed. And we were still 300 meters out to sea. And what we did was we had a little prayer together. It was such a heavy situation. There was only us to get him out. There was no water safety or anything. And all the boards were smashing into us. So we unstrapped the boards, we released them, and they were gone. And we decided that Dougal would lie in the water and hold. His name is Odd. It's quite a strange name. He's from Sweden. So Dougal lay in the water and held Odd's head from below his armpits like that, just to keep his neck straight, because we suspected a neck fracture. And then Dougal put his arm through my leash, and I towed I paddled and towed the two of them in the water with Dougal holding Odd's head the whole way in. It took us about 45 minutes to get to the shore. And we got there and called the ambulance, and we pulled him up the beach. And yeah, fortunately he only had a bruised spine, and he was fine. His body had just gone into shock. But it was just a huge wake-up call that even on a day that's not the biggest, things can still go seriously wrong, and on that particular day, the flotation probably saved his life. I would also really recommend, if you're looking to go into slightly bigger waves, to do a first aid course. All of the guys who are surfing out in the deep water breaks here know CPR, very important, and to know what to do when someone is drowning. And it's also great to know how to hold someone and manage them if they have a suspected spinal injury. So all those things, they add into the equation, and confidence. And at the end of the day, big wave surfing is like a brotherhood. When you're out the back there, everyone is looking out for everyone, and your life can literally be in a stranger's hands, and you're just trusting that if something goes down, he's got your back. That's the worst of it, and I don't want to scare you guys off, but it's very important to have the right equipment, and again, that adds to confidence and peace of mind. Another very important aspect of edging fear out of the equation is physical training. The idea for me is to mimic the big wave environment as much as possible in your training regime. When you're out there in the water, you want to feel that you're surging through the water. You want to have strength in your breath. You want to feel yourself with forward momentum. All of that gives you so much confidence. For me, the best training you can do is time in the water. There's nothing better than that. But if you can't, and if you have access to a pool, I do a lot of swim training. I love to get into a pool, get my heart rate up as much as possible to mimic the adrenaline rush, and then swim under the water. And I can hold my breath for 4 minutes while chilling, but that does absolutely nothing for me when I'm in the impact zone and my adrenaline is up and my heart is racing. My idea in training is just to aim for 15 seconds. And I really believe if you can do 15 seconds of your heart racing multiple times, you can be prepared for almost anything. And then alongside all the swimming, getting your heart rate up and holding your breath, I really think it's also important to do strength training. I like to do a lot of body weight stuff to strengthen your shoulders and your core, so you have a good strong paddle and good stability when you're dropping into the wave. Discipline in your training will give you confidence and peace of mind when you go into the bigger stuff. If you'd like to follow my training regime, I've got a PDF download.